As the 2025 summer transfer window gathers momentum, one of the most surprising and potentially game-changing stories has emerged from Paris. Gianluigi Donnarumma, the Italian shot-stopper widely regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in world football, has reportedly turned down a fresh contract offer from Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, prompting his agents to initiate contact with Manchester City about a blockbuster move to the Premier League. This unexpected development has set off a chain reaction of speculation, interest, and negotiations behind the scenes. Donnarumma's potential arrival at the Etihad Stadium could reshape the club's future in goal, possibly signaling the end of the road for current #1 Ederson, or at least bringing fierce competition to the position. Let's explore the full picture behind this dramatic shift, the motivations behind Donnarumma's rejection, what Manchester City stands to gain, and how it could reshape European football. Chapter 1. The contract rejection. What went wrong at PSG? Donnarumma joined PSG in 2021 after a sensational Euro 2020 tournament where he was crowned player of the tournament as Italy won the championship. His free transfer from AC Milan to the French capital was hailed as one of the best pieces of business that year. However, despite some bright performances, his time at PSG has been mixed. The French giants were eager to tie Donnarumma down to a new long-term deal to fend off interest from across Europe. His current contract runs until June 2026. But PSG wanted to add 2 more years with improved financial terms and bonuses, reflecting his growing stature. But according to reports from trusted insiders, including Fabrizio Romano and several French outlets, Donnarumma and his entourage were not impressed with PSG's vision, both in terms of sporting direction and contractual conditions. With managerial instability and yet another Champions League disappointment behind them, Donnarumma is said to have grown frustrated with the club's trajectory. He reportedly believes he has hit a ceiling in League One and wants to compete in a more intense and competitive environment, especially with the 2026 World Cup in sight. The Premier League, and more specifically Manchester City, represents the perfect stage. Chapter 2. The agent's move. Manchester City contacted. Upon rejecting PSG's contract extension, Donnarumma's agents wasted no time. They immediately began scouring Europe for elite-level clubs where the Italian could thrive. According to multiple reports, his representatives have made contact with Manchester City's top executives, including Director of Football Txiki Begiristain. Initial talks are said to be exploratory, but sources close to the negotiations claim Donnarumma is open to the move. He sees Pep Guardiola's City not only as a trophy-laden environment, but also as a club that values technical skill and builds from the back, qualities that match Donnarumma's distribution-focused game. City, for their part, have not dismissed the idea. Though Ederson has been a reliable presence between the sticks since his arrival from Benfica in 2017, his form has dipped in recent months. Injuries and inconsistencies have prompted internal discussions about refreshing the goalkeeper position. Furthermore, backup keeper Stefan Ortega's contract is also expiring, and while he has been impressive, he might seek a #1 spot elsewhere. Donnarumma's availability, therefore, comes at a crucial moment. Chapter 3. Guardiola's tactical vision. Why Donnarumma fits. Pep Guardiola is a manager who demands more than just shot stopping. His goalkeepers must be comfortable with the ball, contribute to build-up play, and sweep up behind a high defensive line. Donnarumma, at 6'5", offers the physical presence and commanding nature City often need, especially in Premier League battles. Critics once questioned Donnarumma's footwork, but under PSG's possession-heavy system, the Italian has improved considerably. His ability to pass under pressure, coupled with cat-like reflexes and excellent one-on-one shot stopping, make him an ideal candidate for Guardiola's next tactical evolution. Moreover, Donnarumma is only 26, still young for a goalkeeper, yet already boasts over 400 senior appearances and immense experience at the highest levels of international and club football. Chapter 4. Transfer complications, fees, wages, and the Ederson dilemma. While the desire from all parties might be aligned, the deal won't be straightforward. PSG are still in control until 2026, which means a fee will be necessary unless Donnarumma forces a move, or PSG look to cash in early to avoid losing him for less later. Sources close to the Parisians suggest they would demand in the region of $50–60 million for their #1 goalkeeper, given his age, experience, and status. Manchester City, flush with funds but wary of financial fair play, FFP, will need to manage this carefully. Wages are another potential hurdle. Donnarumma currently earns around $12 million per year in Paris. City would need to match or exceed that, which would likely make him one of the club's highest-paid players, potentially upsetting the wage structure. And then there's Ederson. The Brazilian still has admirers in Europe and South America, and any incoming move for Donnarumma would likely signal an end to Ederson's time in Manchester. City would ideally like to recoup around $30–40 million for him, potentially from clubs like Bayern Munich, Juventus, or even Flamengo. Chapter 5. What this means for City's future. If Donnarumma does join Manchester City, the implications would be huge. Guardiola would be armed with one of the most experienced young goalkeepers in world football, one with an imposing frame, leadership ability, and proven Champions League pedigree. City, already a powerhouse in domestic competitions, would see this as a long-term investment. Donnarumma could easily become the club's #1 for the next decade, anchoring the defense through the next generation of Guardiola's evolution, or perhaps even beyond Guardiola's tenure. It would also send a signal to their European rivals. City are not resting on their laurels. Even after their recent successes, they are willing to upgrade in every position, including goalkeeper, to stay ahead of the curve. Chapter 6. PSG's next steps. Life after Donnarumma. For PSG, losing Donnarumma would be a symbolic blow. He was supposed to be the long-term heir to Keylor Navas and the final piece of their puzzle in goal. His departure would necessitate a swift move in the market. The club is rumored to be interested in several keepers, including Porto's Diogo Costa and AC Milan's Mike Maignan. However, none would come cheap, and neither carries Donnarumma's international appeal or off-the-pitch marketability. More crucially, PSG's failure to retain another key player may add to growing frustrations among fans, who have already watched stars like Neymar, Lionel Messi, and Kylian Mbappé exit the Parc des Princes. Chapter 7. Fan and media reactions. The reactions from both fan bases have been mixed but passionate. Manchester City supporters on social media have welcomed the rumors, with many calling Donnarumma a generational upgrade and the missing piece. However, some are also expressing concern about losing Ederson, who is seen as a club legend and a key part of their rise under Guardiola. In France, PSG supporters are angry at the club's inability to keep their top talents. French media is already speculating that Donnarumma's departure could be followed by others, with players like Marquinhos and Hakimi also reportedly weighing their futures. Conclusion: a transfer that could define the summer. While nothing is official yet, the movement behind the scenes suggests this is more than just a rumor. Gianluigi Donnarumma's decision to reject a new PSG deal has set the wheels in motion for what could become the most talked-about goalkeeper transfer in years. Manchester City, always looking to improve, may have found their next great #1. PSG, meanwhile, face another rebuild. If the deal goes through, it won't just be a headline. It could be the defining transfer of the 2025 summer window. And for Donnarumma, it might just be the leap he needs to cement his legacy as one of the all-time greats.